welcome back to Garden Heads. It's me, Matthew Davis, and my boy Tyler Powell directing, and we're going to show you something really cool. How to grow caladiums. We like to grow caladiums here in the greenhouse, and we usually like to start about February because they're a hot tolerant plant. So we bring in these caladium bulbs, pretty cool. You ever seen them? Man, if you plant these during about late May and June here in West Texas, they come out and they foliate and they look great. They're like partial shade. That's another thing, or full shade. And so what's really cool you can do is that you can just plant a ton of these bulbs when the soil temperature is at 70 degrees. Remember that. So that usually happens here about late May or June, so that's when I recommend to do it. But we're gonna freak them out and we're gonna grow them in the incubator, and we'll show you about that right now. So some of the things we have ready for us is just some good old soil, Thursday, and it really is a good thing. And we have a little secret sauce we like to put it in. And so then what we have is we like to grow these in 6-inch pots. What's a 6-inch pot? You say, well, I'll show you. Come over here. Oh, hi, Madeline. Hey, this is my daughter. Hey. Hey, here's the 6-inch pot that we're talking about. So cool. But the first thing that we might do, that we like to do, is called de-eyeing. That's unusual. I thought you just told me to put the bulb in the ground. You can. If you just put a caladium in the ground, it'll come out with one shoot. But if you de-eye them, what's really cool is, and I'll show you really quickly. See these little sprouts that are coming out? I like to call them caladium titties. Nipples, sorry. Caladium nipples. And so what I do is I get like a little potato peeler and I just knock them off. Boom. See that? Boom. See that? Boom. See that? And so what that does, if this was left on here, it would produce one straight shoot and it would go out and it would foliate into a beautiful caladium. This isn't necessary to do all the times, but we would like to do it. We want the most shoots as possible. So we like to de-eye them. And when we de-eye them, or cut the little nipple off, what happens is there's going to be 4 shoots coming out. So it's really cool, and it's something I can teach you to do. All right, so here we go. So then what we're going to do is that caladiums barely have to be planted underneath the soil. So we get our 6-inch pot, we fill it up about midway, we put our caladium in there just like this, very nice, and we're just going to cover the soil up about the length or the depth of the actual bulb. And when you put it up, we leave a little bit of room so when we water it in, the water won't be draining back and forth. So that's awesome. But a thing that we want to show you is that we just like to let them dry out or callus just a little bit. What's a callus? Well, you ever scratch yourself? You know what I'm saying? And you're starting to bleed everywhere, and then all of a sudden the human body does a natural thing and scab over. That's the same type of thing when we're doing things to plants. We let them callus over. So you can see all these that we got going on there. We've done so many all over here, and we're just kind of letting them dry out for about 20 minutes. And that's what we like to do. And then we're ready to put them in the pot. So cool. So we get them in the pot, and let me show you something real cool. Hey, Maddie, what are you doing, Madeline?
Oh, I'm just labeling.
Labeling what?
Tags for little pots.
Caladiums.
Caladiums.
And there you go. So she's doing a really good job because we have 2 different types of bulbs. We have the jumbo, which is a nice size bulb, or we have the mammoth, man, big dog coming through, big mammoth bulbs. They're huge, man. That just means the size of the bulb. So sometimes you can get a big bulb, it's called a mammoth. They produce a lot of shoots. Then you get down to smaller size is a jumbo, and then you can go down to like grade 3, grade 2, grade 1. But what we like to do is we like to plant the jumbos and the mammoths because we're trying to get you the best caladium. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. And what's cool is that, remember I said that we have to heat these things up to about 60 to 70 degrees? Well, we can't just do that by sitting them in this greenhouse because we only keep this greenhouse about 55 degrees at night because we are frugal and we want to be able to be cost effective. So we made a really cool thing called a caladium incubator. Check it out. Boom, right over here, going this way. Here we go. Here's a caladium straight out of Florida, and you know what I'm saying? And we won't really show you where we get them, but you can look in the internet and just look at caladium bulbs, and I bet you can find a valuable caladium dealer somewhere around Florida. There are always hurricanes, and that's what they always say, so it's always hard to get them, but somehow we always get them. And then what we do is we get our caladiums that have been covered up with soil, that have been de-eyed in our 6-inch pot. We put a label on there, jumbo red, or whatever we're trying to do. Maddie, what's going on over there? What's going on over there, Maddie? Huh? You okay? Okay, a little mistake, you know. She's good though. I mean, I think she almost broke one of her nails. But that's okay. Are your nails okay? All right. So then we can show you the caladium incubator. Boom, right over here. Here it is, right here, no big deal. So we had to kind of like come up with something kind of cool. So we got these racks, these plant racks. We put a little dino glass on the side of them. And what's really cool is you can do this in your own garage. Like, what do you mean? There's no sunlight in my garage. Caladiums don't really need sunlight to germinate or sprout up, if you may. Because once they sprout up, then they're good to take out of the caladium incubator and they can be warmed up to about 50 degrees or stay about 55 degrees air temperature, all right? But by that time, it should be ready for you to put outside. So what we do is we get our 6-inch pot. pot, we'll fill this whole sucker up, and sometimes we like triple stack it all the way up and then we'll close this off with a little plastic all the way down, make sure it's sealed up real nice and tight, and we get some heaters and we put up on the bottom. Why do we put them on the bottom? Heat rises, dude. Heat rises up. All right, yeah. So what we were talking about was those caladiums and how we're trying to get them to come up out of the 6-inch pots. But what we need is heat, baby, and we made it, right? So what we made was a caladium incubator. Very, very cool. Maybe try to do this in your own home, maybe in a garage, because caladiums don't need light to be able to germinate. They just need to pop up, and then you can move them out to full sun. All right, and like I said earlier, that you're gonna wanna make sure that you plant your caladiums probably in like the months of May or June, somewhere around the ground temperature being about 60 degrees. But hey, come right here. Here it is, a caladium incubator. We made our own little shelf. It has little wheels on it. We put a little space heater underneath it. You know those old school ones that's kind of long? Heat rises, it comes from the bottom to the top. And so what's really cool about that is that you can be able to place it underneath here, put a light plastic over it, or any type of covering. All right, so these boys have been in here for about 3 weeks, right, Tyler? About 3 weeks already. Check it out. Woo, it's hot in there, dude. That's what I'm talking about. We want to try to keep it under 90 degrees. If it gets above 90 degrees, we make sure we get it. We're going to come check out our temperature reading real quick. Oh, boy. I'm telling you right there, it's at 80 degrees. Perfect. And what we have right now is germination right here from the caladiums. We can see them coming out. And so now these guys are ready to come up. You see them kind of coming up? So we're really excited about it. So we just stay tuned, and we'll show you what they look like next time.